stop right there real quick and just say that I think you can really see how up and down my journey has been. And there have been periods where I'm totally in it. I am going to the gym, I'm eating right, I'm like getting in my workouts, I'm doing the dang thing. And then there's also other periods where I'm unmotivated, I'm not disciplined, I'm not eating like I know I should be. It's a journey. It's not a linear progression from point A to point B. There's like lots of points and then you end up at Z and you're finally, you know, where you think you want to be. Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Saya if you're new here. In today's video, I want to talk about my fitness journey and also where I'm at today because it is very different from where I was at earlier this year even. So I do want to get into that too. Let's get into today's video. I do have notes, as always. This is like the norm. I always have my notes. And if you haven't seen my food journey video, I will link that below and in the cards above too. So you can watch that one after this. I will be referencing that video throughout my fitness journey because they do go hand in hand. I just didn't want to make it like a super long video, so I kind of split it up into two parts. But I would definitely check out that video too if you're interested. So in my food journey video, I talked about how I became aware of food and my body around age 11, and I gave a little story about that. So I'm just going to start from there because that's also when my fitness journey starts as well. So at 11 years old, like I just said, I became aware of my body and what food does to my body, as well as what working out did for or does for my body, as well as my mental health. After we got back from the doctors and everything like that, my mom really pushed me to start working out. So I went running. I started going running with her in the mornings, as well as doing like the P90X and the Insanity videos. I don't know if any of you guys remember that, but that was like literally the first experience with exercise. Like it was really intense, like dripping sweat, the Insanity or P90X guy telling you to work harder. You seeing all the people in the videos look absolutely amazing and you're like, I want to look like that. So yeah, that was like my first introduction into actually working out. I did that until my sophomore year in high school. I was doing the P90X, coming up with my own HIIT workouts, doing Insanity, running with my mom. So it was super cardio based. I didn't have any experience weightlifting. I did know some basic exercises like lunges and jumping jacks and things like that. But I never really added any weight to any of those until I got into my sophomore year of high school, which is when I started weightlifting. So I did cross country in high school for my freshman and sophomore year, and then I did track in the spring through all 4 years. And it wasn't until my sophomore year that I met the coach who kind of like weightlifts everybody. He's absolutely amazing. Like I realized I am so lucky that he's the one that got me into weightlifting and like really showed me form, helped me push myself. Like he was literally my trainer for 3 years. And it was so much fun. Honestly, weightlifting was the highlight of my high school experience. And I noticed I was getting stronger. People were commenting on my body. My legs were looking bigger. But yeah, so that was in high school, sophomore year, junior year, senior year. By senior year, I was like, I got this, I know what to do. He kind of guided me, not really anymore. Like I knew what to do. So he would just tell me how many sets and reps, and then I would just go off and do them of each exercise. And I do want to say on legs, it was mostly focused on like quads and hamstrings. At that time, there wasn't a big focus on glutes. I had never heard of a hip thrust. I don't even know if it was around way back then in 2012, probably, but I had never heard about it. I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what working out your glutes were. I just always had a bigger lower body, so like naturally my glutes were a little bit bigger, my legs were a little bit bigger, but since I had been working out, my legs had become a lot more developed than my glutes because obviously I wasn't working that muscle group. So while it was not big, but like because I had a bigger lower body in general, it was more round, or I guess big. My glutes were not actually as defined as they were now that I know of hip thrusts and like glute bridges and isolating your glutes. So that was, let's recap. That was sophomore year, junior year, senior year, obviously. And then I graduated and went off to college. And in college, my first semester, oh, I remember this so vividly, you guys. My first semester, I did not even touch the weight room because I was so intimidated by all the guys in there. It was a new atmosphere. I was in a totally different area from where I lived. I had never really been to like an actual gym before either because I would work out at my school gym with my coach. So I had never really been to like a gym and it was just so scary. So I would always go up to the cardio level and they had some pre-weighted dumbbells, not dumbbells, those pre-weighted bar things. And they had a little bit of dumbbells up there and I would just use what they had up in the cardio section because that's where mostly where all the girls were and where it wasn't as intimidating. But by the end of my first year, I was like, oh my goodness. I had maxed out on all the weights in the cardio section that were available. I was feeling stagnant and not really motivated to go to the gym anymore because I just didn't have access to those heavy weights. So in the end of my first semester of college, I told myself, I was like, Saya, you need to go to the bottom level to work out. Who cares about those guys? Who cares about anything? Put on your music and you need to go. So starting in my second semester, I started going to the bottom level where all the weights were and started working out. And then from then until I graduated college, that was it. That was also when I started buying cute workout gym. I would go at times where that gym wasn't super busy. So it was either early in the morning or like in between some of my classes. There was a time when it wasn't super busy, which I went to go work out. Also, when I started learning about like hip thrusts and isolating your glutes and finding movements that like really target your glutes, that's also when I was introduced to mind muscle connection. And mind you, all of this I was doing on my own. I didn't have a personal trainer. I didn't have a coach. I didn't have anything. I just took what I had learned in high school from my coach and applied it while I was away in college. And then from there, did my own research, was on Instagram looking at workouts, trying new things. I also, in like my second half of my junior year until my senior year, I started taking spin classes, which I absolutely loved. And in my last year, in my senior year of college, I also started doing F45, which is absolutely insane, you guys. I love F45. Like, I felt like I was really expanding my horizons. I was doing spin, I was doing F45. I was weightlifting. I don't know if it was unhealthy, but I kind of started working out twice a day. So I would work out and then go to spin or have F45 at 6 a.m. and then work out later at like 2:30 p.m. That's where I was up until I graduated. And then I graduated college. I moved back down to go to grad school and I had to find a gym. And that was scary as heckin' Bob, let me tell you. I ended up going to this gym it was far away. In my mind, I had planned it, that it was on the way to my campus. So I would go to the gym, and then from the gym, I would go to campus. That did not happen. That did not happen at all, not ever. Because I would wake up, on the days I didn't have to go to campus, I would wake up at 4:30 to go to the gym. And then obviously on the weekends, I didn't have school, so I would wake up at 4:30 to go to the gym. And that was my routine, which kind of killed me. I lost a lot of motivation to go to the gym. I realized as like quarantine started to hit and COVID started to hit that going to that gym and waking up at 4:30 every morning was just like draining my energy and just draining me mentally. I was just going through the motions of life. I wasn't present in my life anymore. I was just literally going through the motions every single day. And every single day I was like, oh, not again. Oh, not again. So I was really in a rut, especially when COVID hit and quarantine hit, because I just had been doing that for so long. As we got further along into quarantine, I was grateful and I was happy that I didn't have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning anymore and go to the gym or wake up early and go to campus. But yeah, so that was kind of after college, my graduate school. I did that for a year, or until COVID hit and the quarantine order was in effect. So that was in March. I moved back home in June. So from June 2019 until March 2020, I was doing that routine of getting up at 4:30, going to the gym, going to class, going to my student teaching, doing all of that. And then obviously quarantine, COVID, everything happened starting in March, and there was no more gym. But I was able to snag some weights before they were all sold out. And I was working out at home and that was going great. And I had goals and I was getting it still. And then all of a sudden in June, that's when I was done with my cut. In June, I had finished my cut. And after that, I kind of like, I don't know. I just haven't really been, I'm sick of home workouts. I'm sick of being inside. Obviously, I'm gonna stay like safe, keep others safe, keep myself safe. I don't wanna get COVID. I don't want anybody else around me to get COVID. So even if I'm sick of it, I still like, this is the reality and this is what I'm gonna do and I'm gonna do it. But my motivation had gone down a lot since June. I started just eating again, kind of like emotional eating. I was still kind of like just going through the motions of everything, not being present. That's like recently, this in 2020, obviously. I want to stop right there real quick and just say that I think you can really see how up and down my journey has been. And there have been periods where I'm totally in it. I am going to the gym, I'm eating right, I'm like getting in my workouts, I'm doing the dang thing. And then there's also other periods where I'm unmotivated, I'm not disciplined, I'm not eating like I know I should be, but that's okay. And I'm realizing as I talk about it, you can't always be on, you can't always be going, you need a break, we need rest. Sometimes you just need to rest and you need to be like, it's okay if I rest. I need this rest. It's gonna help me. It's gonna help my body. That's up until recently. Now, even though I'm like sick of home workouts, I'm in a place where I'm more present. I take things day by day. I try not to go through the motions of anything. I'm really trying to be aware of myself and of the space that I hold for myself, and just knowing that it's okay that I'm not where I want to be yet. I think that's gonna be it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and maybe check out some of my other videos. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you did make it this far, it really means a lot to me and I really do appreciate it. So thank you so much. Bye.